Hey everyone! Is the car gonna go? Not. Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Carly and welcome back to my channel. Welcome myself back to my channel because it's been a while and I did not mean for that to happen, but my computer broke and I went on a 3-week trip and then just trying to get back into normal life again. Anyway, I'll explain more about my trip in another video, but it was awesome. Had a great time. 10/10. But this is about books, and this is a video I meant to film probably about 2 months ago now, and it just didn't happen, unfortunately, but now I'm here and filming it. And as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail and whatever, it is books I thought were overhyped. And yeah, just books that I felt like got a lot of praise, and then when I read them I was kind of disappointed in them. So let's continue. So I got my list right here. First one I'm going to talk about is, and I do want to point out these are my opinions and my opinions alone. If you like them and you don't feel they're overhyped, cool, good for you, keep that. People having different opinions is great. Okay, first one I'm going to talk about is Warcross by Marie Lu. Basically, this is like what Ready Player One kind of thing. There's like this huge virtual reality world and there's competitions and games and people kind of live their life in this world, and our main character glitches herself into like this huge like worldwide tournament, and she and then the creator of the game ends up hiring her to look for this basically almost like assassin-like kind of character who's trying to like ruin the tournament or something or another like that. When I first heard about this, I felt like everyone was talking about this and everyone loved it, and so I picked it up from my library and recently, and I read it, and I think I was not a fan. The world didn't make any sense to me. The characters were honestly very boring. I think my big thing, everything just felt very one-dimensional. Wasn't anything exciting. I felt like I've read it all before, and I kind of called the ending. Not gonna lie, I did call the ending, and just all in all, I honestly wanted to DNF it multiple times when reading it, and it just, was not for me. I'm not gonna pick up the sequel. I have definitely no interest in reading any more of this series if there's gonna be more than 2 books. It's not for me. The next one on this list is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Again, this came out, everyone was talking about it. It follows our main character as he is going on a European year-long trip with his sister and his best friend, and at the end of said trip he is supposed to go back to his home and become basically like the master of the house kind of thing. But he is kind of known for his shenanigans, like just sleeping around and drinking and basically being a party guy. And he's hoping on this trip he will be able to have this last year of freedom, maybe tell his best friend how he feels towards him, and then things go haywire. The 3 of them end up on the run and trying to solve some mystery. Like I said before, when this came out, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was raving about it. And I finally only recently got my hands on it, and it was just okay to me. It wasn't, again, nothing very exciting. I felt like things moved maybe a little too quickly. And yeah, it was good, but it wasn't right. And like, at least with this one, I didn't feel like DNFing it, but I'm not too excited to continue with the series, and I probably won't continue with the series. Oh god, you know this black pants is probably not the smartest idea. Okay, the next one on my list is Looking for Alaska by John Green. I read this when John Green books I felt like were really popular around that Fault in Our Stars. And I liked Fault in Our Stars. We'll probably never read it because of how sad it is. Reread it because of how sad it is. But I liked it, and so I was trying to read other ones. And this one I felt like was really, really, really talked about. Let's see if I can remember the plot of it. You have a guy who goes to like a boarding school kind of thing, and then he becomes friends with this girl named Alaska, and she's wild and crazy and partied, and he ends up liking her, but then she ends up, and then I'm gonna be honest, all I remember from that book was how much I did not like Alaska at all. I guess maybe that's the point, but I did not like Alaska at all. She's just literally the name on the book, and the main character is like how much he liked her and how much he like worshipped her almost was just weird, because like I said, she was not a very nice person towards him or anyone or anything. I was not a fan. It was boring. Characters were annoying. I didn't see what other people saw in it. The fourth one I have on this list is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, and this goes for the entire series. This follows our main character who discovers his grandpa dies, and he sees something that no one else has seen, and so he's just trying to figure that out, which leads him to, I guess, like a time loop kind of thing, where he discovers this house that lives the same day over and over again in like the 40s, and every kid that lives there has some sort of like power, peculiar ability or whatever, and then things happen, and he was trying to save the day and these kids and their world. And yeah, again, just like every other book, it was raved about, and I picked it up hoping for the best, but I was, again, just kind of bored with it. The abilities were okay. I didn't feel like they were developed enough to be super interesting, and that same thing goes with the world building aspect of it all. And then you had all these characters that were kind of sort of the main characters, yet I could never remember which kid was which and which kid had which power. So like, especially in the second book, when more of these kids are like, coming to the forefront in this story, I kept having to flip back to the beginning of the book, which had a list of the characters of these kids and their abilities, and I had to keep flipping back and forth to kind of keep the characters straight in my mind while reading this book. And then the ending just wrapped up a little too nicely. Like, I can't believe I read all 3 books. But the pictures made it seem super interesting. The thing made it seem super interesting, and everyone seems to really love this book or think it's like good, and it did not keep my interest well enough, and I was very disappointed at that. Fifth book on this list is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Basically this is like the Harry Potter-esque version thing in Rainbow Rowell's other book of Fangirl, in which the main character is a huge fan of like that book series. You follow Baz and Simon during like their last year at school as kind of sort of Harry Potter-esque stuff happens. I was super excited to read this book, and everyone seems to love the relationship between Baz and Simon, and characters, and reading it, I felt like I was just tossed into like the 7th Harry Potter book with never reading any of the previous books before. That's exactly how I felt reading this book. So I didn't feel like any of like the relationships between the characters, I didn't see any growth, because kind of leading up to this book, the growth would have happened in previous books, and I didn't get to see any of that. So I felt like things just came out of nowhere, and the relationships were very no growth, just basic. And yeah, it was a very weird reading experience reading that book, and it was not one I particularly enjoyed, and I wish I could see what other people saw in it, but I just didn't, and I don't. So the last book I have on this list is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Again, I mean, this follows our main character, who is obsessed with this lost city that is known as Weep. Weep is not the name of the original name of the lost city, but is the name people know of, because all of a sudden one day everyone just forgot the name of this city, and it's nowhere written anymore or anything. And suddenly one day a group of people come into the city he lives in, and they are from this lost city, and he gets picked to go to this lost city to kind of help them remember their name and stuff, and things happen. And as I keep saying, I'm not going to spoil it for people who have not read it and want to read it, because anything else kind of gets into spoiler territory, which is what everyone talks about. And I felt like, again, everyone loved this book, the writing and the world building, and I was very bored when reading this, like really bored. Like, I was kind of glad when I was finally done. I mean, I will give it this, like the hardcover version, I have I think the US version, not the dust jacket, but the hardcover of it actually is super beautiful. And I think the UK edition, I think it is super beautiful. Like, the cover's so pretty. I wish this had like resonated with me, just like all of these books. I wish they had resonated with me, but they just didn't. In this one, I felt like the prose of it all was just too flowery for this kind of book. I didn't feel like I didn't get sucked into the characters and their issues and the world there, and nothing in this book just gripped me like it seemed to do with other people. That I'm really probably, again, just not going to continue with this series. I didn't care enough to find out what happens, as sad as that sounds. Alright, that's all I've got for now. And let me know what some of your overhyped books are, if you agree with mine. Just gonna reiterate, if you loved any of these books, because I mean, like I said, I think they are overhyped for me personally. So I know they are very, very well loved. Cool, awesome. Like, I'm glad you enjoy things, because that means you're enjoying things and you're having a good time. So just keep it up, but yeah, let me know what some of your overhyped books are. And if you liked what you saw, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, whatever. And I'll see you guys again with another video soon. Bye.